Okay, well, you know, Richard, to take it a little bit further, what do we know? What are some statistics on the olive leaf?
Well, although the olive tree and leaf has been used for many, many centuries, the modern science began, our first notice that we could find in the literature was in 1827. The Pharmaceutical Journal carried a report that during the Napoleonic era, the soldiers would use olive leaf extract, olive leaf, as a cure for fever. The same journal, the Pharmaceutical Journal, some 125 years later, in 1954, reports that British soldiers, when they went to malaria-endemic tropical areas, they would use olive leaf as a prevention for malaria. Okay? In 1962, Italian researchers isolated oleoropin from olive leaf, and they found that oleoropin has strong anti-hypertension properties. So now this is important to understand. We see in our epidemiologic studies that the Mediterranean diet lowers heart disease, lowers blood pressure. And the scientists way back in 1962 were able to understand that the oleoropin content of the olive and the leaf is what's responsible for lowering that blood pressure. Fascinating discovery. There are other things in the olive leaf that are very helpful. Beta-cytosterol. That is a plant's cholesterol. See, plants don't make cholesterol. That's an animal product, right? But the plant beta-cytosterol is similar to cholesterol, and when we ingest that substance in our body, it lowers our cholesterol level. One of the basic reasons why the Mediterranean diet lowers our cholesterol and heart disease risk. See? Beta-cytosterols. It also has tocopherols, which are your vitamin E-rich substances, flavonoids. Those are your anti-cancer and anti-heart disease. We're hearing a lot about these flavonoids and flavonols. Triterpenes also. Upjohn research in 1960. This is the era, and we're still in this era, exploring antibiotics. You know, we had penicillin at that time, we had the sulfa drugs, some of the macrolides, but we need more antibiotics. So Upjohn set out to find naturally occurring antibiotics that they could tweak, turn into patentable medicines to work as antibiotics. And they investigated the olive leaf, and they found that it inhibited the growth of bacteria, parasites, and virtually every virus tested. Okay? The olive leaf. Amazing. Multiple research centers now have shown olive leaf is effective against influenza, cold viruses, Epstein-Barr virus, that's the monovirus, herpes simplex virus, the Staphylococcus aureus germ that causes the methicillin-resistant staph that's really a problem that's growing, shingles, pneumonia, tuberculosis, urinary tract infection organisms, HIV, some effect against HIV, and absolutely dental infections. Okay? So there's your first point with olive leaf. It is a strong, potent, enduring, natural antibiotic, antiviral, antiparasitic. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You know, how are you going to reach a long, ripe old age if you succumb to every infection that comes through town? See, the foods that the Mediterraneans have eaten over the years have natural antibiotic activity, but we don't develop resistance to these agents. That's the amazing thing in my mind. Penicillin, we had 50 good years of it, and then we have resistance. We can still use it, but it's not as good as it used to be. Olive leaf endures. Doesn't that impress you? It does me.
It sure
I just,
does.
wow,
It's
that's pretty amazing.
Well, I think it would be really neat to go visit that Garden of Gethsemane and just to be there. We'll have to do that one of these days.
Let's make a point of it. That'd be a wonderful trip. Here we go. University of Milan did more research. Olive leaf prevents the oxidation of cholesterol plaques, another arm of the Mediterranean diet, preventing that oxidation of the cholesterol and preventing the heart disease. Mount Sinai, here's an amazing one. Mount Sinai, the wonderful hospital in New York, they gave olive leaf supplements to 9/11 workers who were exposed to the toxic rubble. And they found from their research that the olive leaf is a natural chelating agent that draws out mercury and these bad things that we've heard these stories of people exposed to the toxic rubble at 9/11. And Mount Sinai, in their studies, they gave this to the workers and it improved their health. Natural chelating agent. Spain's University of Granada found olive leaf. They reconfirmed olive leaf relaxes blood vessels, lowering blood pressure. Institute of Technology in Israel, olive leaf has antimicrobial and antifungal properties, advancing on second, third generation of these type of studies. University in Japan found that olive leaf slows the growth of leukemia. See, when you approach these natural lifestyles, these diets, the characteristics of the Mediterraneans, and you break it into pieces, Well, no wonder it lowers cancer risk. No wonder blood pressures are lower and people have fewer gallbladder attacks. And no wonder they live to a long, ripe old age, because they're not as plagued with infectious process, because their foods are natural antibiotics. It's beginning to make sense, see? The beauty of it is you don't have to move to the Mediterranean to adapt this lifestyle. Foods from around the world are brought to our country every day. That's one of the huge advantages of modern technology. You can eat their foods. They grow it, ship it to you the next day, or we can grow it here in California or where we grow our produce in America and mimic the same lifestyle and receive all the benefits of it. When we return from this important break, we want to go to the PDR on herbal medicine's summary of olive leaf's benefits.